What time was the wake-up call this morning?
This morning was 6:15. I'm used to getting up at 10. So, yeah, it was nice to be out there today, watch them practice and do that kind of thing.
What are you trying to bring in the time that you're here? Obviously, the similarities between the
Oh, I don't know how much I can bring to them, really. I mean, Kane had asked me to come up, I don't know, last year, and we couldn't for some reason, and I was able to do it this year. We do travel a lot, and I'm going to just watch them, see what they do in their individuals and scheme and all that other stuff for the next few days. Today, Friday, and Saturday, and then I'll talk to them about that, and we'll just kind of go from there.
I think even in South Alabama, you did this for Kane when you came out?
Yeah, I did. I went down there, it was 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember what it was, but it's just nice. I think for Kane, it's, not that he needs security in any way, but he likes to hear another voice, that somebody's done it for a long time, which I have. But Tom's right. I've forgotten a lot of things.
When was the first time that you got the sense Kane wanted to do this?
Oh my gosh. I think he's said, I think from the time he was 5 or 6 years old, he used to go to practice with me and be around the players and the guys. And I think he just fell in love with it, which you do. And so, I mean, Kane's 32. It's been 25 years or more for sure.
You said most of your conversations regard fishing, your grandsons, and his house.
Yeah.
Is that mostly what you guys talk about these days?
Well, yeah, we talk a lot. We talk a lot about football too, but those grandsons, having the 3 boys, my wife and I always travel together, so she's always here with us and getting to see them. And then my daughter is married to the head strength coach at Liberty, so we go over there and then we try to do some other traveling. But it's fun just to talk to him about football too.
Your experience in the SEC, you've seen a lot of speed defensively. How do you see kind of that in terms of what Coach Allen is building and recruiting here?
Well, I think he certainly had a good playbook to see, and play all those teams that we did in the years we were there. And, I got a chance to watch 7 Indiana games in person last year, and both at home and on the road and everything. And you could see just watching practice today that the skill level's improving, and you can see their experience starting to come through a little bit, the way they're communicating and doing those things out there. But I don't think there's any doubt the last couple of years they've recruited pretty well, and I think they want to, speed makes up for a lot of mistakes, and eliminate mistakes, get the best players you can on the field, and good things are going to happen.
Obviously, you talk about since Kane was 5, he was around the team, but when it became evident he wanted to become a coach, I mean, did you give him any advice?
Yeah, don't do it. No, seriously. I can remember my wife and I, when I was at Georgia Tech, he was in that mode of, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I want to do. So we took him to the national convention, and that year it was in Nashville. And of course, every year you do that, maybe 15 or 20 of your friends are out of a job or transitioning, so we took him to all those people first, and we really kind of was like, you got to make sure you want to do this kind of attitude towards him. And I can remember getting home, and he said, Mom, Dad, would you sit down on the couch for a minute? And I said, sure, yeah, we'll share anything. And he said, this is what I want to do. So, that's been a long time ago. I can't remember what year it was, but you could see it. That's what he wanted to do. And then, before that, even he was asking questions about scheme and those types of things. So, I think Kane's his own person, and I think certainly the names helped him, but I think he's kind of, built his own way to get to where he is right now, and I'm extremely proud of him.
Well, he's pretty young for obviously being in the position.
Yeah. One of the things that I always tried to do with Kane was a graduate assistant for me at Arkansas when I first got there in, I guess that was 11 or 12, I'm not sure. But I let him coach a position. I let him coach that Husky position. And I did that with all those guys. And I had a guy named Trey Scott that's a defensive line coach at Georgia. DeMarcus Covington is the linebacker coach with the New England Patriots. Christian Robinson coaches the linebackers at Florida. And it makes a difference when you actually experience that part of it. Could they go out and recruit and do some of those things? No, but he's always had the personality. I mean, he's more outgoing than I am. And I just knew it was all going to come together for him because he had, so many experiences. And then back to the graduate assistants, I think it's important that they, I was a graduate assistant under Lou Holtz years ago at Arkansas. And I mean, we used to grind the grinds before he had film, and we had to hang all the stuff on the wall and all that other. And they treated us pretty tough. So I thought, when I got to be a full-time coaches, I'm gonna let my guys, I'm gonna reward them a little bit, after a year or two of being there. So I think that makes a difference too.
Is there any sense of comfort, or maybe that's the wrong word, when he got this opportunity, knowing that he's paired with Tom, a guy you've trusted and
Oh,
coached?
sure. I mean, think the world of Tom, and Tom's a heck of a man first before he's anything else. And I was around Tom for 6 years, both Ole Miss. Well, I guess he left a year or two before that, but I knew what kind of man Tom was, and I was so happy for Tom to get the opportunities, and the timing was right, where he went and everything. I hated to lose him when he left Ole Miss, but absolutely feel confident. And then, I think it makes a difference too that Tom's a defensive coach, and I'm prejudiced towards, the best coaches are defensive coaches. Everybody knows that. If you don't believe me, ask Nick Saban and all those guys. But yeah, absolutely, it's comfort that he's here with Tom.
Tom's always sort of talked about learning this defense from you. Where did you get it? Is it something you just kind of developed over time? Did you learn it from somebody?
Yeah, you know what? For a long time, I've been friends with Bud Foster and Gary Patterson, going back to, I guess, even the early 80s. And we all kind of always, you always got somebody that you can call and do this and that. And, it's the 4-2-5, and I don't know who started it. I'm sure we stole most of the stuff when we were doing it. But the guys that I kind of counted on and talked to the most were those guys. And of course, everybody tweaks it their own way for what they need against the opponents they're going to face in that particular year. But I did like the ability for it to be so multiple, and I think that made a huge difference for us over the years.
It just fit in terms of the way the game's going, in terms of spread offenses.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can change out one guy or sometimes two, depending if they want to go clear to empty sets and stuff. But with a speed guy at Husky instead of a more big guy, I mean, we have the ability in the defense to put a bigger linebacker type guy in there for the Husky. But almost everybody you play now is one back of some sort, and they're mostly 11 personnels, and a lot of them are 10, and then they'll go to 2 tight ends, 12 personnel. And it just adjusts so easily. So, when we put in the defense, and we always put in a lot of defense and put it in fast in the summer, and then I thought we always did a great job of game planning and narrowing it down for that week. But yet you could always go back to the foundation in the summer and, and the teaching part of it, the camps and everything. We had more practices back then, with 2-a-days and everything. But I just thought it was a simple system that players could learn. And to me, the game is not about, the team that you're playing. It's about yourself and eliminating mistakes. And the smarter you play, the fewer mistakes that you make, you're going to win more football. There's no doubt about that.
Tom, I was talking about the mannerisms maybe between you and Kane are similar. Have you noticed anything that he says or does that's similar to you?
Well, I don't know. You'll have to judge that. I don't really know. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough question. Never really thought about it.
And you go fishing a lot? I guess where do you go fishing?
Do I go fishing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 85 acres in the backyard. So we have the number 3 bass lake in all the southeast United States. And since I've lived there, which is 4.5 years, I've caught 112 over 8 pounds. So
Was that Mississippi or?
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I just got back from a trip to Canada, it was smallmouth fishing, so hunt, fish, football, travel, you know, that's life. And I enjoy it.
You ever had the itch to get back into coaching, or is it just?
Yeah, I've had several opportunities, and I've had several opportunities to also be a consultant too. And you know, it's just for me, when I turned 60, I wanted to be able to retire at 60, and I did. And you know, being able to enjoy the grandkids, and my wife's parents are alive. Mine were both alive at the time when I retired. My dad's passed since, but seeing family, and then, you know, being able to follow my children's career, you know, too, and seeing the grandkids, and I think we made the right choices at the right time. We were fortunate enough to be able to do that.
That 6:15 wake-up call probably nothing to do with
Well, you know what? When I was in Canada, we took a houseboat out, and we were out like 4 hours. I mean, we just stayed out there for 2 weeks, and we were on the water at 6:15. So, I mean, if it's something important like fishing,